Week 12 waiver wire show, Sunday Night Football wrap-up show. What a game. We just saw it end about 12 seconds ago. The Bengals in a brutal loss to the Chargers. The Bengals fought back. Amazing second half. They owned the Chargers the entire second half until the end there. And the Bengals could not close. Their kicker absolutely blows. And I have to say, I disagree with so many things that happened at the end of that game. The fact that you're trying to go for these long touchdown strikes on the drive before that final drive, when you're trying to drain the clock so the Chargers can't go and score or kick a field goal. But what a game, what a finish. The Chargers beat the Bengals. The Bengals are in serious trouble. Their season's dwindling down to a nothing burger. And we've got Week 12 waiver wire content to go over. We have all kinds of stuff to talk about. Breece Hall exploding. AR5 is back, baby, and he's on waiver wires. How many waiver wires is he on? What's his percentage of ownership? We do the waiver wire like nobody else because we decided last week when your boy was sick and I didn't have time to prepare to do the waiver wire live, to do it with you guys. You guys help decide and set the waiver wire rankings, and we're going to do that in a minute. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Chargers beat the Bengals, and it was such a fun, hard-fought battle right up until the very, very end. But we have some stats to go over. Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow was phenomenal in this game. He did everything he could to win this game. I would say that the Chargers offense, they don't allow Herbert to throw enough. They don't allow Herbert to be, the player that I think he could be. But it works. This defense has been phenomenal. It was pretty good up until, the end, and Burrow started marching down the field, and in the fourth quarter, just one drive after the next, they'd fail. One drive after the next, they'd fail. Over and over and over, they'd trust this kicker to kick it in. McPherson couldn't do it. Higgins, 9 for 148 and a tutty right here. Jamar Chase, 7 for 75 and 2 touchdowns. Chase Brown, 5 receptions for 57 yards, adding 86 yards on the ground. But Chase Brown was just magnificent in this game, just running all over the place. Trusted asset for this team. Workhorse back, getting so many carries and touches, total touches. 22 carries, as I said. 5 receiving attempts. I mean, look, 17. This guy's going to get 25 to 18 to 25, 18 to 28 touches a game, it seems right now. So unbelievable week for all of us. The show had such a good week. We had probably the best week we've ever had in the history of the show a couple weeks back. And this has got to be one of the bigger weeks as well. Maybe the second place week for the year. Our people went nuts. Last show when we went over all the production, you guys spouted off, and you can continue to shoot off what your scores are. 180, 200, 195. You guys are lambasting everybody. This community exploded because show players from the Fantasy Football Show, the show players that we promote and tout, Taysom Hill, Chase Brown, Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, they exploded. Jennings was a fantastic go-get player. We had a lot of the buy low guys from Week 11. This is the Week 11 buy low list. Hall, Gibbs, Cook, Achane, Cooper Kupp explode. We still got other buy low opportunities that are on the board walking into week number 12. If for any reason you're allowed to buy low still in your league. But what an unbelievable day. Taysom Hill exploding. AR5 is back. And then we got this production to go over. Joe Burrow, 356 and 3 tutties. What a day. Started off doing nothing in the first half of this game. It looked like it was going to be one of those games where they'd sit him, It was going to be like 50 to 3 or something. And Burrow marched them back, but they couldn't close. And you could blame the kicker all you want, but you could also blame the coaching and play calling at the end of this game. When you're trying to not manage the clock properly and keep trusting this kicker to go out there and whiff these kicks. Justin Herbert, 5 carries for 65 yards, the leading rusher on the ground. J.K. Dobbins with that amazing run at the end, that touchdown winning run, 11 for 56 and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Lab McConkey was a trusted source for Herbert, 6 for 123. Disley caught a touchdown and 80 yards. Quentin Johnson caught a touchdown and 48 yards. It was a remarkable day, to say the least. A remarkable day and a great finish, a finish we did not expect to get because that game looked brutal for the first half of football. But here we are talking Sunday Night Football recap, but also Week 12. We move on to Week 12. We already celebrated all the big performers, AR5, Juwan Jennings, Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs. The list goes on and on and on. Patrick Mahomes with his 3 tutties. We had a list of players to celebrate and explode, and you guys had the biggest week I've seen in a long time. Even that week we had as coined our best week we've ever had on the show in terms of show predictions and everything. This week is the one where I'm seeing the most high scores I've ever seen. You guys, 80, maybe 90% of you absolutely crushed your opponents with these high scores, and keep dropping them if you've got a high score and you're a show member and you want to show off your score or your team. Let's get these super chats out of the way real quick, then we're going to go straight over to the waiver wire board, which I've already got kind of pre-sorted in a way, just with players like floating at the top. We got Taysom Hill and Jonnu Smith as 2 king picks of the week from last week. We'll see if they're available enough to even keep on the waiver wire. Jennings, we'll see if he's available enough to keep on the waiver wire. Nix, Stafford, AR5. We might have to pull some of these guys off because the requirement's going to be roughly 30% availability across leagues. You were right, Smitty. Love outplayed Russell Wilson. Yeah, I mean, look, everyone said I was biased against Russ. I even admitted I might bring some bias to the table, but Russ was garbage in this game. They won. He's been enabled to continue to play as quarterback. Tomlin still feels he's the best quarterback. Everybody else thinks that the offense is open more with Russ than it is with Fields, which is true because Tomlin does not allow Fields to run the playbook. This has been Russell Wilson's team, a custom-tailored team and playbook fit for Russell Wilson that he never adjusted and adapted for Justin Fields. Justin Fields made DJ Moore into a top 5 wide receiver last year. Let's not forget. Let's not act like Pickens couldn't also be a top 10 wide receiver if Tomlin had fed and catered this offense around him. But he didn't. He didn't, and he won't. And he won't. But yes, Love did outscore. Appreciate you dropping that. You think they'll stop running Chase Brown because the season is over? No, bro, you can't get worried about that. I mean, anything can happen, but you start panicking about, like, you think they're going to pull somebody. Players don't think like that. Teams don't think like that. No one wants to lose their job for half of a season and then come back. That doesn't really work like that. What happens is diva players like CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, for example, they could have an injury in the final 2 or 3 weeks. No one's going to sit out a month of football, with a fake injury. But if, like, you're walking in, like, week 16, week 17, week 18, you're banged up a little bit, you might sit out the remaining part of the season, 2-3 games, which could affect championship week or even the week prior. I don't think you sit out much earlier than that in some sort of fake, situation. But yeah, we're definitely worried about all players on bad teams, Jet players, Dolphin players, potentially a whole lot of other players that might walk in with injuries or nicks and bruises or contracts they're worried about, or older players like Tyreek Hill who want to save themselves just a little bit for the next season. Those are the players that are at risk of missing maybe the last game or 2. Nothing maybe crazier than that. So we're not going to think about that yet. We just can't. Chase Brown is him, 148-142 final score. Nice job, Jaime, dropping the big wattage. Chase Brown came through. AR5 and Taysom to the moon. Yes. To the moon they go.
To the moon.
Appreciate you, my boy. Young to the moon. Okay, or that's not Young. That's Rula. Rula, appreciate you. Megas, appreciate you. 2 straight weeks of donuts from Kyron, JJ, and Hopkins. 5 and 6, 2 straight losses. Season over. Megas, you're one of the few negative, and I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm just saying one of the few negative cases from today. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. I wish you would have hit a home run with those boys this week. Kyron's going to be fine. Keep trying. Don't give up. You still might squeak in somehow. Do the math, but don't give up. Plus, bro, you can always play underdog using code Smitty, and that link's pinned in the live chat. Or no, it's not. The link's right here. It's in the description of the video. But, bro, it's never over. It's never over. You can do the hires. You can draft a team for week 12 only. It's never over. Burrow, Hall, K9, Brown, Cup, Nico, Debo, any moves. Probably say with this team, I'm hanging tough. You know, maybe try and trade Debo and K9 for a big dog. Kyron might be somebody you could go get Cody right now, given the panic in Kyron. Look at how negative a lot of people are on Kyron. I don't blame them for being mad, but I think you could get him cheap. Kittle, MVS for Mahomes, Pacheco. Pacheco got Hunter Henry. Kittle and MVS for Mahomes and Pacheco. I'd take Mahomes and Pacheco. That's a fantastic trade. Taysom Hill, cheat code. Secret weapon, yes, sir. Thank you, Rockout. Appreciate you. Mac T and JSN are him. Jacobs on the Mars top 5 running back upside. Yes, sir. Jacobs is a Mars man. He was a Mars man, is a Mars man for sure. Are we looking to sell Jamar Chase? My only big wide receiver for a big package. Do you hold 9-1, clinch the playoffs? If you're 9-1, you're doing the right thing. Why change what's not broken, bro? I'm not trading if I'm 9-1. Put up 188 this week with no Nico going tomorrow. Think Nico can get me to 200? Absolutely. Let's go. Big week, Kevin. Appreciate you. I'm bummed about Megas though. I'm bummed that he didn't do well. Smitty, which side? CMC London or Jamar Chase Kamara? Jamar Chase Kamara by quite a bit, bro. Jamar Chase is out of his mind right now, and Kamara is also playing out of his mind. How about them Georgia Bulldogs? Appreciate you, Red. Red to the moon. Red's my boy. Red, thank you, pal. And let's get right over to the waiver wire. So last week we had Travis call in. We had a few of you call in. Go ahead and call in if you want, Travis, and you can maybe spot check some of the availabilities for some of these guys. But this is the Week 12 waiver wire board as of this moment right now. But I don't know some of the availabilities of some of these players. So we'll have Travis check the availability and roster percentage of ownership on these guys, and then we'll break them down and we'll decide who deserves to stay on the list, who maybe I'm missing. You guys want to add somebody, drop it in the live chat right now. If you see somebody that I don't have on this list that needs to be on this list, we're going to do the waiver wire week 12 live for all of you, and we're going to do it quick. We're going to do it fast. Travis, Juwan Jennings, what's his availability in leagues roster ownership wise?
Let's see, I got it right here. He is on Yahoo. He's 69% owned, so he's 31% available.
Okay, that's enough to leave on this list. I usually keep my cutoff around 30%. Javonte Williams, what's his availability?
Right here.
Because if so, he's got to go back on this list.
79%, so 21.
Okay.
21%.
So not quite there. So I'm going to just mention his name. I'm going to take him off. But if he's available, he definitely needs to be in this range. What about Christian Watson? What's the availability on Christian Watson?
I think he's pretty available.
Estimation.
56% available.
Okay, so Watson, Jennings need to be on this list. Jerry Judy's clearly available. You can look that one up too. Judy's available, I'm sure, in an enormous amount of leagues. Quentin Johnston, I imagine you could.
49%.
Judy, yeah. So Judy, 50% of leagues. Tillman and Johnston. Can you look up Tillman and Johnston? Nix and Stafford and AR5 and Herbert and May and Tua. Taysom Hill's eligible as QB and tight end in most formats, so he's all over this board. But go ahead, Tillman and Johnston.
Tillman's available in 34%.
Okay, that's enough.
And Johnson available in 59%.
Okay, so those two need to be up there. Pop Douglas, you don't have to look these up, but Pop Douglas, MVS, Dobbs, these are all guys that deserve to be on here. Elijah Moore, Wandell, Myers. In this ranking, you could throw around in different order. Westbrook, Akine, potentially somebody. Bateman, you could go after Bateman. Mitchell kind of got some work. Yoshi Voss probably needs to be vaulted up a little bit. I'll put Yoshi Voss right here. Is anybody missing
Myers.
Travis? Yeah, I got Myers there.
Myers is actually he's 25% available.
Yeah.
So
okay, so he's kind of.
of.
Okay, so I'll take Myers off. Myers is if he was right at like 29, I'd keep him on, but Myers will take him off. Yoshi Voss. These are the wide receivers. Am I missing any wide receivers from the chat or Travis? If you've got anyone you believe is missing, Coker's right here. He's on the list, so he's not missing. Let's see if anybody else has any other waiver wire players the qualifier. Oh, yeah, it's Worthy. What's Worthy's availability? I can't imagine he's available in over 30%, but maybe he got cut that much last week. Hard to say.
28%.
Okay,
He's almost
so
there.
yeah, so Worthy's got to go on this board. Good call, whoever that was in the chat. Let's put him now. Where do we put Worthy? I do think he's got a lot of upside. Is he below Watson? I don't know.
I think they're around the same. I mean, maybe slightly below because Watson has more. I mean, I don't. I mean, he's got to be right around him.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Judy. I don't trust Judy, so I'm gonna put Tillman.
I don't either.
I'm gonna put Worthy, Watson, kind of all clumped together right here under Jennings. I'm gonna put Johnston right below Watson. I'm gonna put Yoshi Voss kind of right there. Judy under those guys. Okay. Pop Douglas, MVS. I mean, MVS could go up, actually. MVS could maybe go right here. I don't know that I trust him long-term, but he's clearly doing well right now. So I'll put MVS right here with Watson and just under Tillman, just under Worthy, right there. Anybody else? Kendrick Bourne, that's a good one, I suppose, to add. Yeah, Kendrick Bourne, I'm sure he's available in enough leagues. I don't even know if we need to look that up. But look up Nick Stafford and AR5 if you could.
Yeah,
and
Bourne's available in 99%.
Okay, look up Stafford, Nix, Herbert, and AR5. Stafford, Nix, Herbert, and AR5.
Stafford's available in 43.
Okay, so Stafford, Nix.
Nix is available in 52%.
Jeez. Okay.
Richardson's available in 53%.
Okay, Herbert and May, and then we're done with QBs.
Okay. Herbert is available in 21%.
Okay, so we'll take Herbert off the board, but know that Herbert would go right around Nix and Stafford if available. May and then Taysom Hill, actually. May and Taysom Hill.
May is available in 86%. I'm going off Yahoo. But,
okay.
And then Taysom Hill is available in 46%.
Okay. So this is probably how I would rank it right here. If anybody disagrees and if there's somebody I'm leaving off the board, let me know. Nix is the one top quarterback ad, and I could probably put a crown on him as well. So we've got a crown, and the crown meaning that it's just like it's near league winning in some sense, or at least it's going to assist you in maybe winning a league. Jennings, crown. Nix, crown. Hill, Jonnu, crown.
Someone said Darnold. Darnold's available in 32%.
Okay, so Darnold's enough to put on the board. Okay, I'll put Darnold on here. Darnold. I don't know how I feel about Darnold comparatively to like AR5 Stafford right now.
Yeah.
I put him next to May.
Someone said Jameis.
Yeah.
Jameis, he had 30 points. He's a bye-week streamer.
Yeah, it's probably good.
He's available in a lot. 88%.
Okay, we'll put Jameis on here as well. So we got Darnold. Darnold, we're gonna put right here. Jameis, we'll put right down here. I'm gonna put Jameis around Hill because it's hard to start.
Yeah,
it's hard to start Hill, but like I started him in a super flex without a hesitation, and he exploded. So clearly, I'm happy with it. But like I get that you're probably. You know what? I'm gonna put Hill above Winston as a QB.
I will. Yeah.
Okay,
it's
so
amazing. It's like all these years that Hill hasn't been used more. I know he's been hurt here and there, but like he's such a weapon.
I want to say it's something around that range. So Nix, Stafford, AR5, Stafford are kind of close. May, Hill, Darnold, Winston, Tua, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. Is Russell Wilson? I'm sure is still available in a lot of leagues, but I got him down. Yeah, I got him down here. We'll put him right next to Darnold, Winston. Above Tua, let's say A-Rod and Tua are down a ways. Fields I have on here, and Penix Jr. and Willis and Flacco just to look out for super flex peeps that might be trying to predict an injury or something, like you're in a bad spot, but your team is so good, you want to have an arsenal of what-if weaponry at the QB position, these are the guys you're going to poke around at. You're going to try and grab Penix Jr., hold him in case something happens. Fields in case Russell Wilson fails or gets injured. Willis is great if Love gets injured. He gets injured a lot. And if AR5 gets banged up again, then Flacco. So these are super flex kind of mindful grabs. We've got the wide receivers. Is anybody missing, Travis, that you can see? Or anybody else feel like there's a wide receiver missing? I feel like
so. Someone mentioned Deontay Johnson, but I don't know unless we see him get more work. You know.
Yeah, I don't. Do I have him on here? I feel like I have. I guess I don't.
He had 2 targets. Like we see more.
He's all right. He's got stone hands. Okay, maybe he deserves to be around here, but whatever. Running backs. This is one where I feel like maybe I'm missing 1 or 2 names or something, but I still feel like right here there's not a lot to find that's starting material. Javonte was available in less than, it was like 18% or whatever you said it was. So Javonte doesn't qualify. Estime absolutely crapped the bed hardcore. Gus Edwards is somebody that you could pick up and maybe get some touches, but look what JK just did. I doubt JK gets less work next week than he got this week because of what he just did. You got Vidal, Cam Akers, Spear. Like none of these guys, Warren, none of these guys are climbing up and starting for anybody on any sort of regular basis whatsoever. You still got Mason and Grendo as this handcuff win a league duo. You got Roschon punching in a touchdown, so he's someone to look at. You got Brooks coming into the fold here soon. You got Braylon Allen as a rags to riches, but nothing really immediate to use and help you right now, but rags to riches. Ray Davis and Benson. These are still the top 3 rags to riches players that I think trump anybody getting touches because they have win a league potential. I'd rather with the running backs have win a league potential than somebody that's just getting some random touches. That's why I organized it the way I did. But if I'm missing a running back, anybody in the chat, let me know, or Travis, if you see somebody that I don't have listed. I don't think I do.
I'm going down the list here. I don't think so. I mean,
anybody?
Like if
Bueller.
If Madison and Zamir White are out, Amir Abdullah will get touches, but he's not. You got to have something better than him to play.
Yeah, I'm not. Abdullah's okay. I'll put him on here, but he's like Warren. There's nothing to expect out of this.
Yeah. Even worse than Warren. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly like, especially with a week like this too, where there's no one to pick up that running back, and it's that this time of the season where if you haven't been doing the handcuff thing, and you have a guy with a legit handcuff, it's time to get him. Yeah,
and we'll put Corum up, even though he's right here. I'll put him up above a little higher. Corum, Benson, Davis, and Allen. My thinking is this again, guys, and honestly, Roschon's here, but Swift's still doing good things. I'd almost say you could put Brooks here maybe, but I think Mason and Garendo, the cuff still deserves to be above all of the guys barely getting touches. I'd rather have the home run hitting Christian McCaffrey gets injured, Mason goes to the moon, or Garendo goes to the moon. That's why both of them are needed. They're still going to rank high, and they will all year. I don't care if they don't get touches next week. If Mason and Garendo, they'll sit here until week 17's over. That's how confident I am that they can win a league if something happens to Christian McCaffrey. So don't expect to see them leave, and don't get mad at me if you pick them up off this list and say, Smitty, Mason didn't do anything. I'm cutting him. Can't believe you told me to pick him up. He's not going to do anything. He's a win-a-league stash with Garendo, just like he was pre-week 1 when we didn't think Christian McCaffrey was missing week 1.
Someone said Charbonnet.
Is he available in enough leagues to put him on here?
Yeah, I think he was 58% available.
Okay. We can put him on here. I'll use this color. Just
Bigsby does Bigsby still go on?
Yeah, we probably should. Sharbs.
He's available in plenty of leagues.
Yeah, we'll go Sharbs and we'll go Bigsby. Those are decent. I think those are probably higher than Roschon. Let's see here. I think I'll probably put him above Roschon. Like, I know Roschon got a touchdown. I get it, but I still don't see the value yet. Algier, maybe. I guess you could put above those guys. Maybe. It's tough. I'd say something along the lines like this. Okay, go over to tight ends.
Yeah.
We got tight ends here. Hill is by far and away the top tight end to add, unless you've considered Jonnu just a little bit safer, and that Hill will be volatile. Like, I get that. So they're kind of neck and neck. I have Hill slightly above him, as you can see. The two line, the line is basically like this. Hill just 3 touchdowns, 138 rushing, an additional, what was it? Was it 5 receptions for? What was
50
it?
yards.
50 yards. Just unbelievable. Was it 7?
50, yeah.
Was it 7 receptions or 5? I don't know.
I got it right here.
I mean, he just exploded. 7?
8 receptions, 50 yards. 8.
8 receptions.
Yeah.
Guy had 13 PPR points before you even account for his 3 rushing touchdowns and 138 rushing. So Taysom Hill just a smash.
18 passing yards on top of it.
Yeah, and an INT.
He threw a pick and he lost a fumble.
Yeah,
and he lost a fumble.
I mean, he's doing everything. Jonnu, 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Schultz plays, obviously, tomorrow, so we'll know more on that. Henry, Disley scored. Nice little touchdown. You could even move Disley maybe even above Schultz right now until Schultz plays. So Disley's good right there. Gesicki's kind of, I admit I take a lap on thinking he would still. Well, what did he actually have today? Gesicki had.
I don't think he did much.
Yeah, he had 2 targets, no yards, no receptions. Okay, so I'll take a lap on that.
Well,
that's me.
When Higgins is in, he doesn't get near.
Yeah,
as many targets.
I thought that might not be the case.
He doesn't run too many snaps either.
Win a league capable is likely right here. Win a league capable. Not saying he wins you a league now. If something happens to Andrews, he can win you a league. Just know that this guy is rags to riches capable. Muth, Ertz, Knox, Theo Johnson. Parkinson caught a touchdown today, but he gets very little work. This is it. I don't think I'm missing any tight ends either. I kind of looked at it pretty deeply at tight end. This is the waiver wire board. This is a fantastic board. It's getting thin every inch we get closer to weeks, the playoffs, weeks 14 or 15, 16, 17. But I think this is a pretty good list. I know some of you are going to say Smitty, Jennings isn't available, Nix isn't available, Stafford isn't available, Hill and Jonnu aren't available. But you have enough names here to find somebody if you need to pick somebody up. And hopefully for those of you that are in leagues that are pretty big with small benches, or medium with small benches, or medium with medium-sized benches, you'll find some of these top guys available. But this is the Week 12 waiver wire board. And I think that looks pretty good. And then, of course, these are the buy lows from last week, some of which are checked off as you can't get them anymore. The buy windows are closed. Pacheco is going to play Week 12. We don't know to what degree, but expect him to play quite a bit. That's the game that we've been told he'll be back. So, man, I mean that's a good looking board. I'll show it one more time. Here it is. This is the waiver wire board for week number 12, created by you, the people. As well as doing it live in front of you, just to make it a little bit more interactive, and I think give it a chance to have some sort of like pliability. Like if I just came out here and did a show, and then later on I'm like, I didn't really think about the fact that Worthy was available, then he wouldn't have made the show. So I think that's why I love doing it this way to go forward. Is it helps me not make a mistake that costs you a good pickup. Not to mention we tweak it throughout the week and such. Marco's live here on the phone line. Marco, what can I do for you?
Yo, Smitty, I just got a question. So I'm thinking of dropping because I have 3 tight ends on my squad right now. I have Taysom, Trey McBride, and Taysom Hill. Should I drop Autumn and keep Hill around, or
can you trade?
I mean, I could, but I kind of need a quarterback, so I need to drop one of them.
Okay, but I mean, bro, Otten's not somebody you drop. Like, he's a top 5-6 tight end. You know, all 3 of those guys are. Like, trade them. Trade for a quarterback. Like, what are you going to do dropping them?
Well, Matthew Stafford is on the waiver wire right now, so I was thinking of maybe trying to pick him up.
Well, can you drop your
With
kicker?
Allen,
Can you drop your kicker? Can you drop your defense? Can you, like, what are we doing dropping Otten? Otten's a commodity, bro. In a market where people are going to pay for a tight end. You throw Otten and something together, you can go get a Mahomes. You can go get a quarterback that you might want to play more than Stafford. But dropping Otten would be absolutely nuts.
Yeah, that's true. The only reason I was thinking about it is because Mike Evans is coming back. He might not get as much targeting.
What's that have to do? What's that have to do with the fact that you could sell him before any of that even happens?
I don't know. I've been sending trades throughout my league, and I've gotten one trade. Nobody wants to trade in my league. It's kind of weird. I've only gotten one trade. I traded for Devontae Smith a few weeks back. I think I gave him Darnell Mooney.
How many offers do you send when you like a week?
I send like 5 a week.
That's not enough though. Like you hear me talk about it, bro. If you send 20 offers, you may get one.
Yeah.
If you're sending offers that are very advantageous to you, you're going to get about a 5% return. So if you send 5 offers and you say, no one trades in my league, I don't buy it. When you say no one trades in my league, I don't buy it because I know that you're probably only sending 1 to 5 offers or something like that. I know it's hard, but bro, you got to send offers in droves. And eventually what happens when you make 10 offers at a time and when they get rejected, you send another 10 out. You end up having one get accepted while like 7 are out and you don't even remember what's out and all of them go away because the players are, that you offered is gone now. And you're like, I don't even remember what got ripped down. That's how many offers you got to send in order for something to go down. You can't send 5 offers and expect to get a deal. You're trying to rip someone off every time you trade, bro. You're not going to rip 5 people off in a row. You're not going to rip off 20%. 1 out of 5 would be 20%. You're not going to land 20% of your trade offers.
Yeah, that's true. So you're riding with Hill instead of Otten?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. You asked me, should you drop Otten? And I said no.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, should I keep Hill around or should I keep Otten?
Bro.
Finish him.
Just trade him away.
Call terminated.
So, should I? You're making trades. Look, Marco, if you're listening still, you're trading whichever tight end you can trade that gets you a trade. If you start picking which one of the 3, that's going to limit your availability of your offers. You're not going to have somebody accept. If you're flexible with that, just get rid of one of them to try and upgrade. You will have a better chance of executing on a trade. So the answer is no. Drop your kicker. Wait until the end of the week to pick up a kicker and work on making a trade right up until kickoff or when your deadline is. Okay. Let me hit these super chats real quick, Travis. But yeah, it's as for his own good.
Did you have Addison on there? I know.
Not on the buy low, no.
He's
good though.
No, on the waiver.
Oh no, is he available in that amount of leagues?
Not on Sleeper, but on Yahoo, he's 31% available.
Really? I almost feel like that's
top scorers of the week, and he's only 22% available on Sleeper. I think Sleeper seems to have more, like, I don't know if I call them more, better players.
I get
casuals, whatever.
I guess, yeah, 30, right around 30%ish, probably overall. So let's go back over to the waiver board. That's a good one. I mean, I almost feel like if someone sees it, they're gonna go, "That's a ridiculous waiver board," because like he shouldn't be available. Let's move all these guys down. I mean, he goes above all these guys right here. I think he goes above Watson even. Right around there. Probably above MVS. Probably above Worthy. Right next to Tillman.
I'd say so.
And below Jennings. So we'll put Addison right here. I'll make this one say Addison.
Would you say, is it time to move Tua up a little, or you still have him down there?
I think he deserves to be maybe above Winston.
Around Darnold?
Yeah.
Yeah, above -1.
Right above there. All right, hang tight. Let me get through these super chats real quick.
Yep.
Should I trade Lamb for Collins, for Nico Collins? Yes, you should take Nico Collins in a heartbeat, my boy. My team, I started 1-5. Now I'm 5 in a row, 6-5. Attaboy, Rock Out. Rock Out, you had a rough start and you kept with it. Nice job. I wish you would have done that Jamar Chase trade, though, at the end of the day. I forget what that trade was, but damn, that would have been good for you, probably. Unless the players I'm misremembering are going off, too. I have McBride and Taysom Hill. Should I sell one? Yes. Just like I explained to that guy, Chris. Sell both of them, at the same time. Don't accept both trades, but sell both of them at the same time and try and negotiate a trade and get rid of whichever one will get you, more. So if you're talking to one owner about something, be like, which one do you want? You can have either one or find out which one they want more. But definitely sell whichever one you can get rid of to get a deal done, because they're both good options. Got offered JJ and Pitts for Chubb, BT, and Njoku. You got offered JJ and Kyle Pitts. You got to take, come on. That's something. I hope to God you don't have dumb vetoes in your league, because vetoes suck. No one should be playing with vetoes, but if you play with vetoes, this is something that's going to get vetoed. You almost need to throw something else in. That's crazy to get JJ. That's why walking into this week, I'm going to add JJ to the buy low list. We'll probably still do it because some of you can still trade. It seems like a lot of you. It seems so. We'll add JJ to the list. He's the only player that I think is still very cheap compared to. Davey says, come on, Smitty, vetoes are important. No, they're not, Dave. No, they're not, Dave. Ask around. Hey, chat, are vetoes good? Let's see what they say, Dave. Dave, it's one thing to say, Smitty, I like vetoes. Okay, but when you say, come on, Smitty, that means that you think that everybody behind you is agreeing with you. But let's just see, Dave. Chat, who likes vetoes? Put a thumbs up, a thumb down, whether you like vetoes. Let's see what the majority of people say. The only reason vetoes are important is if you play in a league where people don't know what in the hell they're doing, and you got to hold their hand. Have Hawkinson and Ferguson use number 2 waiver claim on Taysom. Yeah, you got to just make a trade, Hans. Make a trade, my boy. And not to mention, Taysom's got that weird eligibility. Maybe he helps you in some way. Again, I've no beef with Dave saying he likes him, but when Dave says, come on, Smitty, as if I'm in the wrong and the majority of everybody standing behind him. You're right, am I right, guys? Am I right? No, Dave. No. 6-4. Mahomes, Herbert, Kupp, Amari, Terry, Dell, Bijan, Achane, Wright, Brooks, Madison, Warren, Benson, Ertz, down by 12. Got Dell and Texans D. Win? I would probably say this is going to be 50-50. I don't know that I could even choose which side to be on. Because I want to say Dell's going to have that alone. I want to, but I don't know what is in store for this situation. I'd probably rather be you than not, but that doesn't mean I'd feel very good or comfortable. So hopefully you get this win. Let us know. We'll be rooting for Tank Dell and the defense for you. AR5, let's go. 25 early first rounder, 25 late first rounder for Josh Allen, 10 team standard. Yeah, I'm gonna take Josh Allen. 25 first. Let's see. Hold on. Is this a super flex? I guess I'm assuming it's a super flex. Hold on. 25 early first rounder, 25 late first rounder for Josh Allen. That's a lot if it's not a super flex. It doesn't look like it is a super flex. Man, that's tough. I'd probably say it depends on how early that first rounder is. If you think it could be the number 1 overall, I don't think I could do that trade. If you think it's like...
He has 2 other first rounders, too.
If you think it's like the 4 or 5 or something, I could probably say yeah. But I think if you're talking about that being potentially could be the number 1 overall pick, there's no way I'm giving that up for a quarterback. Because that alone is better than just the quarterback, like that alone. So I think you got to answer that question.
He said it. He said it was Superflex, but then he just deleted the message. So I don't know.
It's super.
Oh, it is Superflex.
Okay, then the answer is yes. I would do the trade. It's still close because like AR5 and Superflex also goes up in value, but I think the distance between them, it doesn't just bring AR5 up into the first round. You know, AR5 is still a very big question mark. We love him, but I don't bring him and vault him up into the first round. I'd take Josh Allen and a Superflex over AR5 in the 2 picks, but that it's, you know, I'd try and get a little more if you can, but down 170 to 140 with Nico left, does he drop 30? I mean, he could, but what did T. Higgins have tonight in fantasy? That was 148 and 1, so 14, 24, 31. So like T. Higgins was around 31 points, so 9 for 148 and 1. I mean, it's possible. I mean, this is why you play, though. You know what I mean? Like, this is why you started to play fantasy football. So enjoy this and root for it. Don't live and dwell on the negatives and wish you were winning by 150 points walking into the Monday night game. Like, this is what you wanted to play for. The buzz and the adrenaline rush of you having one guy left. He has nobody, and he's got to have 148 yards and a touchdown. It's possible. Would I bet on it? No. Would I bet against it? Probably not. I mean, maybe. I'd maybe bet against it more than I bet on it. But, I mean, you never know, bro. Like, this is why you play. Just enjoy it. Enjoy it. Yeah, vetoes are buns, says Cody. Look, I realize why some of you want it veto. Let me go back and correct maybe the way I said it. If you're in a league and it's out of your control, you know, you don't want to leave the league. You don't really have the luxury of finding a new league. I get it. Not everybody's just got leagues sitting in front of them. And you don't want to quit fantasy. Like, if you were to leave the league, then you'd have no great league. And it's been, you know, infiltrated by a bunch of people that don't know what they're doing. And you're afraid for the league to get ruined by people making bad trades. I understand why you might implement a veto process, but the problem is about 80% of all the veto processes that are implemented have like a very, very lax veto process. Like, it should be near unanimous. It should be something along the lines of like 8 votes out of 12 are required to veto a trade. When it's majority, it's ridiculously bad. It's really bad. When it's majority, I'd even say maybe 10, maybe 9. I'd say 9. If I was to set a number, I'd say 9 out of 12. That means that the 2 people involved, if they didn't vote, that means that basically you got one other person. You need all 9 other people besides one person to want to veto the trade. Otherwise, you have people that veto people that are doing good trades. You have people that don't want the best team to get better, and they veto everything. It's garbage. It's garbage. So if you do vetoes, please try and implement a 9 vote requirement to reject something. Plain and simple. And the same goes for making a change. Like, oh, let's make it a super flex next year. Like, you should have literally, in that case, unanimous or 10 out of 12 to do anything. Because then at least you only have 2 people that are upset if you do 10 out of 12. And if they leave, you can replace them or whatever. But you do a majority vote, guess what happens? About 50% of the league is pissed off. You don't want a commission like that. That's horrible commissioning. Let's go over to Rock Out. Rock Out, you're live.
Yeah, I got like 3 pretty good QBs. I'm not sure what to do with them. I got Purdy, Nick, and Tua.
Purdy.
I like Purdy and Tua the most.
Nick's and Tua.
And then Purdy and Nick.
Yeah, Purdy's okay, but I mean, Nick's is your guy. You're starting Nick's, go forward. In my opinion. I mean, this feels like a 3 TD guy now. Like, he's a 2 to 3 TD guy almost every game, it seems. And he'll get you 4, obviously. But this is a 2 to 3 TD guy. Feels very safe. They put him in a position to win and excel. This is a guy that I ranked over Caleb walking into to January and walking out of the NFL draft and walking into the season. And I like Nix a lot, and I don't hear anybody complaining about that now. Nix is a baller. He's also a veteran age-wise. You know, he's been in college football for so long. Dude's accurate. He has wheels. He can run. He's fantastic. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
What else you got, Rock Out?
Would you try to add like Tua for like a trade? I'm not sure.
No one's trading for Tua. No one's trading for Tua, Rock Out. I hate to break the news to you, bro. Unless you're in like a 16-team league, no one's knocking down your door for Tua Tagovailoa. Is there somebody that's got like an injury? Because it's like no one's gonna. Like, name the team in your league that has the worst quarterback, or the two teams that have the worst quarterbacks.
When we come back, Steve.
Yeah, because I doubt anybody's going to be knocking down your door for Tua. Real quickly, let me answer these two super chats, or these couple of super chats, then I'll go over to Fitzy, then back to Rock Out. Instead of veto, my league does a 24-hour counter offer period. If you have a problem with the trade, you can counter. Works great. A lot of overpays. I mean, interesting, but should I trade my K9 for his Monty and B-Rob? I'd rather have Monty right now, even though I love K9. Monty's just safer. He's a safer source of touchdowns and just, you know, guaranteed 10 to 12 points, it seems. I love K9, but they do know how to misuse him. And it's sad. You know, it sucks watching them not give him enough carries. 10-man full PPR, Lamar, Barkley, CMC, Collins, Tillman, Disley, Otten, Chase Brown, bench, I believe that's Amari Cooper. You said Copper. Kittle, Mason, Otten, Dell, Pollard, Jamo. Jeez, Jamo on your bench. That had to burn. That had to sting just a little bit. It's a good team. Let's see here. Recommendations for your team. I'd probably say with Barkley, CMC, Nico, Lamar. I like the team a lot. You're probably just trying to use Jamo and Tillman, or just put Jamo in, bro. Jamo and Tillman and Otten potentially. You got Chase Brown. Amazing. You're keeping Chase Brown in there. Kittle. I would trade Kittle or Otten, whichever one got me the deal done, with Jamo or Tillman. I'd even explore trading Chase Brown in the right scenario. You know, like the Kyron owners giving up on him. And some might say they'd rather have Chase Brown than Kyron, but I would not. I would take Kyron. I think maybe you strike at that. Try and find out if that's possible. If not, then you're probably keeping Chase Brown and you're just trying your best to use the Kittle, Otten, Amari Cooper, Tillman situation. You're trying to use that to your advantage to get somehow, some way into a situation where you're getting like Tyreek Hill, or you're getting, let's see what other players are still available maybe after this week. I mean, you could try the tight end for Deebo Samuel straight up and just hope that situation does turn around. Neighbors would be a good stab in the dark. Mike Evans, DK Metcalf, obviously. Pacheco would be good as well coming back. I like all those ideas, maybe using that tight end, that extra tight end, especially if it's Kittle. I think someone would overpay for Kittle, even if he's banged up. As long as he's coming back, I think somebody would overpay for Kittle. All right, go Fitzy, you're live.
Hey, Smitty. I have a little bit of buyer's remorse with Deebo Samuel. Would you trade him for Marvin Harrison?
Yes, I would take Marvin Harrison Jr.
Would you throw in like a DeAndre Hopkins if you have a lot of receivers?
No. Look, Hopkins
would
is
you
still.
Would you throw in a Tank Dell?
No. I still think there's ups. I know Debo's crap to bed. I get it, but I don't know that I'm trading. Well, I guess, you know, maybe I would. I'm worried about Debo. I am. I'm more worried about them, how they're using him wrong. You know, they're using him wrong. They're not using him at all. The play calling's horrible. Kyle's calling horrible plays. And Niner fans are irate. They're calling about maybe 50-60% of Niner fans in comments of any Niner post or Niner live stream about 50, at least 50% are saying Kyle needs to be fired. They're calling for Kyle Shanahan's job. Finally agreeing with Smitty. I get. The problem is I still love Tank Dell, but would I rather have Marvin Harrison Jr.? Travis, would you rather have Marvin Harrison Jr. or Debo and Tank Dell?
Oh man.
And chat, vote on that.
Man,
I guess MHJ.
I don't like MHJ. I'm high on MHJ though, higher than most people.
I guess I would do it.
If you need the depth, go with the other two. But
I just have a lot of receivers, so.
Yeah, if that's the case, I'd do it. Yeah, if Dell's never getting in your lineup, then smash it. You know, they're
higher up? I mean, I could throw Cortland Sutton instead, but I feel like Cortland Sutton's producing every week.
Yeah, he's pretty good right now. I don't know. I'd probably keep him. Yeah. All right, bro. Yeah, do the trade. If you're good in depth, you know, in terms of depth, then do the trade.
I appreciate you.
All right, later, bro. Matt, you're live.
Hey, Smitty, got another quick question. Mike Evans for Tyreek Hill and Blake Corum. I own Tyron as well.
Mike Evans for who?
Tyreek Hill and Blake Corum.
Hill and Corum. Oh, man.
And I own Tyron.
It's nice to see Tyreek Hill score, but it still feels like it almost feels like the way that I can describe. How do I describe Tyreek Hill? It feels like Tyreek Hill, they've got him on the bench, you know, and it's like they're just waiting, and he's like, you know, he's hungry. He's hungry, he's excited, you know, all that. He's ready. And then they let him out into the field. He does something, and then they bring him right back. Like, I know he's out there, but that's how it feels. Like he's getting one or two cracks at something. And if he scores, great. And it's like they let him run near the end zone and do all this stuff near the end zone, but like in between the 20s, it's like, where the hell is he? I don't know if there's something else going on they're not telling us about. They didn't tell us about the wrist. His wrist has been a problem since the police arrested him for the pre-week 1 debacle situation. And we didn't know about his torn ligament in his wrist. So who's to say there isn't something else going on? It's just really, really bothersome to not know. I'd probably say at the end of the. Well, hold on. Let me.
Receivers are Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamar Chase. So and Mike Evans with the hamstring. I was kind of seeing injury risk on both sides of him re-aggravating it at some point also. So
true, but I think I'm going to go with that.
The swing for me really was I'm just nervous going into the playoffs without like a handcuff or a Kyron, like Corum as my backup there. Because if he goes down, I would just be cooked.
Yeah. God, it's so tough, bro. It really is. And then you think about like the Dolphins' schedule and everything, and you think about the standings, and you think about what happens if Tyreek Hill gets shut down because of the wrist, right? Why are they going to run him? Why are they going to run him out there and injure his wrist in week 16, 17, 18? Like, could he just have wrist surgery? Like at that point, could they just shut him down? They very well could. And then you look at Tampa Bay. I mean, probably are going to be in the same boat in terms of like they're 4-6 right now. They still have a shot, like right now, like but like what are they really? Are they really going to grab a wild card spot? I mean, they could win the division maybe easier than grab the wild card spot because they're 2 games back and maybe the Falcons fold. But there's a better shot that Evans. There's a better shot that Evans doesn't get sat early, in my opinion. Yeah. Even though he's older, he's a baller. I'm gonna go with Evans. But I get why you want to do this, and I support it if you want to do it for the cuff. They're pretty close. I'm wavering. So if you do it for the cuff, I'm okay.
Gotcha. All right. Thanks again, as always, Smitty.
All right, later, bro. Rock out. Did you find out who was the weakest team in your league in terms of quarterback play?
Yeah, there's a guy with Russell and A-Rod, and there's also a guy with Carr.
Wow, okay. Maybe they would take Tua. Who's the Carr guy have? He doesn't have anybody else but Derek Carr. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, who's he got on his team?
Hold on a second. He got So you got running back, you got Aaron Jones, Spears, you got Pacheco. You also got Watson, and you also got Worthy.
Okay.
And Adams and Chase and Jennings.
I would try and get Jennings or Pacheco for Tua.
Jennings or Pacheco.
Yeah,
okay.
That'd be great. If he's got Carr as his quarterback, that's fine. That could work. Try it. And if he wants who's your other quarterback? You got Nix, Tua, and who else?
I got Nick, Purdy, and Tua.
Okay, try Purdy too. Yeah, give him Purdy or Tua, his choice for Pacheco or for Jennings, and I'd even say Aaron Jones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Try that.
Easy. All right, boys. Anything else? I'm going to probably clear the phone line here, answer a couple more super chats, go back over the waiver wire board with everybody, and then see if there are any more super chats, and maybe take one or two more phone calls, and then probably bounce out, which will be maybe sometimes that's an hour or two. Sometimes it's 5 minutes. So anything else, boys?
Yeah. Would you do anything with Higgins or try to write it out?
I mean, depends, bro. You know, I definitely think there are players I could go get, you know, even if we just look at last week's board and say, like, Neighbors, can I turn Higgins somehow into Neighbors? Can I turn Higgins somehow into Lamb, somehow into Hill, somehow into Metcalf, you know, Pacheco? And I don't think we'll put it. All right. Thanks, Rock Out. Appreciate you.
All right, cool.
Travis, anything else?
Yeah, just I know we had been saying JD5 and Knicks are kind of matchup based, but does Knicks get the nod just the way he's been playing for now until we see JD5, you know, start to get healthy and run a little bit more?
Yeah, I think once we know JD5's ribs are good and we see him back in the saddle, I would hate to have another week go by where you're like, damn it, okay, I should have did that again. Like, Knicks is doing enough that we got to put him in.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, all right, cool.
All right.
Appreciate it, Smitty.
Later.
Talk to you later.
All right. Let's see, I think I got some supers over here. I got Josh Allen, Brees, Mixon, DK, Nico, Marv, McBride as my starters. Would you trade Marv and Mixon for Kupp and Chuba? No. I'd rather have Marv and Mixon. I think Marv can be, look, there's arguments to be made for sure. But Brooks is coming back. Not that he's taking the job, but there could be some sort of, like, you know, downtick in Chuba's value. Not to mention, like, Brooks could mess with the flow a little bit too. Like, we don't know how it's going to all shake out. I definitely would rather have Mixon. Mixon's on a tear. Marv's going to be a good bounce back candidate to be maybe a high-end wide receiver too. We'll have to see. Need a running back. Who should I target? It's close enough, though. If you did it, I wouldn't be, like, mad at you or send you on a lap. Need a running back. Who should I target with my Higgins? Pacheco. That's the best option I can think of. Pacheco, Jacobs. I don't know how easy that's going to be. You might have to add something. Walker's risky, but you could do that. I personally think Pacheco might be the best go-get RB. I don't think we have any other RBs on this board. Do we? Cook is say goodbye to that value. He's gone. You could try and get Kyren or Bijan in a bigger deal, you know, Higgins in a running back, but you're not going to get that straight up. But the buy low opportunities opened up for them. JT, you'd have to give up more as well, but those options are on the table now when they weren't last week. So Higgins in a running back for JT, Higgins in a big running back for Bijan, but you can upgrade into that when you couldn't last week. Is Mooney injury good or bad for London? London is probably in a better situation, I would think, but you never know. And which side? London, CMC, Barkley, Hopkins. Give me Barkley, Hopkins by quite a bit. I still believe in Hopkins a lot. I still think Hopkins has tremendous value. And real quickly, let me just go to Hopkins' line because I want to see what he finished with. It was a bad, not a good game. It was 3 for 29. I still believe in Hopkins. Worthy 4 for 61 and a touch. I mean, Kelsey had 2 for 8. Like, it was a wild game for sure. So I wouldn't really hold that against Hopkins, but it's a close call. Let me put this back on screen real quickly. Mooney, so CMC, Barkley. Let's see, London and CMC for Barkley, Hopkins. Yeah, McCaffrey doesn't look quite the same, and the offense looks awful. The Niners' offense looks horrible. So, you know, if McCaffrey had like 150 and 2 touchdowns or something, I think we'd be in the conversation. But right now, we don't even know what McCaffrey is. And we don't know if McCaffrey's going to stay healthy, to be honest. Waiver board, for those that missed it, here it is. Take a screenshot, pause it, whatever you got to do. These are the waiver wire top rankings for Week 12. The qualification to be on this board is you got to be available in at least 30% of all leagues. And some of these guys are pushing the limit of that, like Jennings, Tillman, and Nix. These guys are available in at least 30% of leagues, but you know, it's pushing the envelope on some of those, and some of those are way more available than others. Winning 150 to 130, Fairbairn to play. What do you think? I think you got it. I mean, I'd rather be you. Nothing is a lock, but that'd be a pretty decent bet to make too. You know, if I was able to put a money on it. Allen, Tua, Achane, Chase Brown, Pacheco, Najee. I'm trading Najee probably, bro. I'm keeping those 3 RBs. I like Allen. I'm keeping Allen. I'm trading Najee, Harris. You got Chase, Pickens, and McLeod and Kittle. I guess I would be tempted to throw like Pickens and Najee together to go get a monster, bro. Go get a monster. Like Puka, or I mean, you could do a Lamb now before the game, risk the biscuit on that. JJ might even be attainable in that. Honestly, Najee and Pickens for JJ, you might see somebody bite on that. And if you got to get Kittle involved and roll with Njoku to get JJ, I would do that. I'm not saying I give up necessarily all 3 in that case, but I start having that conversation. Like, which 2 do you want? And if you did do the 3, what would you throw back? Like, I think that's... And if you go below JJ, you don't have to include Kittle. But you could include Njoku and go just slightly below JJ. That would be the move to make. Past that, I mean, that's the only thing I'm looking to do is move that combination right there, you know, to different teams. Go over and over squads and try and get out of that situation. Feels like I have to make a move having both Jennings and Debo, Hurts, A.J. Brown, Tyreek, Debo, Achane, Chase Brown. I don't know if anybody's buying Debo right now, though. You could try Pacheco. You could try MHJ. You could try potentially a quarterback upgrade using Debo. And, you know, Jennings does feel safer. I do believe Debo, the way that the Niners operate, the way that those wide receiver rooms work, the wide receiver room specifically in San Francisco works, is they'll rotate, though. I'm telling you, there's going to be a blow-up Debo week. And then everybody's going to be on, you know, Debo again. It's just, unfortunately, the Niners' play calling is trash right now. I don't think it's a Debo problem. I think part of it could be, but not a lot of it. And, you know, he's not being used, and he's getting used up the gut again. Maybe he's banged up right now and we don't know it. I mean, there's a lot of things that I blame on Shanahan, because if he's hurt and we don't know it, that's on Shanahan. If their play calling's bad, that's on Shanahan. Regardless, this problem probably is a Shanahan problem, and we just don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's hurt or not. Have your feelings changed on Tyreek change? No, I mean, like we described, I mean, it's nice to see him get in the end zone. As I said earlier on the show here, like 2 or 3 times, he got in the end zone, but it feels like they're holding him back for some reason. Do I buy him low? Absolutely. But that's what it's been. You know, everybody says, oh, buying low on this didn't work out. You're buying low. If you're not buying low, you're not doing it right. Like, if you're buying Tyreek, you buy him low. If you own him, you have to play him. You're not getting rid of them really at this point. You could try to do some creative 2-for-1 or 2-for-2, but you have to keep them. You have to keep them. You have to play them. There's no option. But do I buy them low still? Absolutely. Do I buy CeeDee Lamb right now? Absolutely. Do I buy them low? Yes. Do I buy them medium to high? No. Garrett Wilson's another one to worry about. That's why last week I had a lot of Garrett Wilson's trade Garrett Wilson away suggestions. When I saw Garrett Wilson on a team, it's like, I get it. He's talented, but this situation is horrible. Straight up, Metcalf, sure. Puka, Kupp, Lamb. I might even go toward Tyreek Hill over Garrett Wilson and take that gamble. Garrett Wilson and a running back to get Bijan. Garrett Wilson and a running back to get JT. I mean, it's kind of a crazy week, man. Crazy week. We got JSN in the draft for a steal for the first wide receiver drafted. This is Mark. I don't know what that says. What's that mean, Mark? Isleboy, I appreciate you. Coker, Leggett, McMillan, or Coleman off waivers. Probably, I don't know. I don't know. There's really none of these guys like stick out right now. Probably say Coker. Maybe Coleman later, but maybe Coker. Downs or Hunt for the flex next week. We don't know. It's too early, Chris, to talk about that. We don't know what the workload's going to be for Pacheco. He might not get much work. We don't know. Tank Dell is going to do well with Nico back. That's what I believe. I believe it's going to be similar to how Coleman was doing well when Amari Cooper showed up, Outlook on Wilson rest of the season. Garrett Wilson, hit and miss. Good games, good games, very bad games. Good games, very bad games. Inconsistent. Pacheco, I think, will do pretty well down the stretch. All right, guys, appreciate you. Again, don't forget to check out the waiver wire board. You can screenshot this, pause it, go rewatch how we created this. Each week and this goes for next year too, I think. Each week from this point forward, from last week really, going forward, you guys, we will create the waiver wire board together on the live stream. That way it's interactive. That way we get to talk about it. That way you get to see how my mind works and how I massage the list around and put it in a different order in front of you so that you don't think, oh, this, you want to know how the food is baked, in the kitchen. And we're going to show you. Appreciate you all. See you all tomorrow. Thank you for joining me today for all the live streams and goodness. What a week. What a great week we had. What a great week we had.
Let him cook.
I mean, I've never seen so many high scores posted in my live chat before, ever. You guys blasted. Earlier, you blasted me with 170 to 120, 195 to 87. 212 to 111, like just over and over and over. I've never seen so many high scores in my life. The Fantasy Football Show crushed today.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Taysom Hill crushed today.
Let him cook.
Breece Hall crushed today. Gibbs crushed today. James Cook, one of the buy lows of the week, crushed. Achane crushed. MHJ next week. Cooper Kupp crushed today.
Let him cook.
Man, Cooper Kupp, did he ever crush? 2 touchdowns, 100 yards. Woo, he's back, doggy. He's back. I'll see you all tomorrow. Appreciate you. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Don't forget to click on the Patreon link right here if you want to join the 24/7, 365 live Patreon. I'll be going live on Patreon in about, 10 to 15 minutes. So if you guys want to join me live streaming on Patreon in 10 to 15 minutes, just use the link. And for anybody that doesn't know what Patreon is, Smitty, which Patreon? Here it is. It's just basically, it's an app. It's a live chat room. I go live inside the live chat room, and the live chat room is available to live chat 24/7 with the same people you're chatting with in the YouTube stream. Very helpful people. So, yeah, let's do it. Leonardo says, Smitty coming back down to earth. Absolutely not, Leonardo. We're only going upward. We're only going further into space. I don't know if you're not riding with us, if you're trying to be a hater or not, but we're going to Mars tonight. Tomorrow we're going to Saturn, and we'll see you later because that's where we live because we're cooking, Leonardo.
Let him cook.
Don't forget, thefantasyfootballshow.com. Or Leonard. I think his name's Leonard. Leonard, not Leonardo. Leonard. Whatever his name is. He says, it's all, what do you say? Hold on. Smitty coming back down to earth. Still good, though. Bro, Leonard, let me tell you something. We smashed today. We're not coming down to anything. Anything human level. We're in outer space, pal. See you when we get back. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. See you on the Patreon. Again, the link is in the live chat pinned. The link is dropped right now. See you on the Patreon in about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll be live. Trade questions, whatever, get to the Patreon.